Now, after all the events this weekend, we do want to focus a little bit on the UK U of L game and the season as a whole. So, Lee, I want to go back to the talk about the game. I thought going into the game that the way we would look at this season would in large part be based on how that game went. And I think that's true because I think people are down on the team and the season, but it was 7-5. So what do you think?
Well, it was 7-5, and I think I remember saying at the beginning of the season, if we have another 7-5, it has to be a different way for the fan base to consider this progress. So if you were to flip losses, let's say they lost to Vanderbilt, they lost to South Carolina, they lost to Missouri, but they're still 7-5. Now, what does that mean? That means you've got to win somewhere that you are supposed to get.
Well, but
and
they
I
already
think
did
the
that.
fan base feels different about it.
But they already did that. I mean, to be fair,
what do you mean they did that?
In hindsight, winning at South Carolina is a good win. I mean, South Carolina finished 8-4, and to win on their top. But I don't disagree with your overall premise. I mean, I don't think all 7-5s are equal. Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
So, like, take 2007. In 2007, Kentucky went 7-5.
Correct.
But they beat the #1 team in the country.
You're making my point for me.
No, I am, but I'm making a slightly different point. The issue is not who they beat. The issue is they didn't play anybody. This is the easiest schedule they'll ever play.
Right.
So I think they could have finished 9-3 this year.
They should have.
And if they had finished 9-3, they still wouldn't be as good as the 7-5 team in 07.
That may be legitimate. But there was missteps with the Florida and Ole Miss games.
That's what kills them. I think the Florida game, I think when you're looking at this team, the Florida game is the thing. I don't think our fan base has gotten over the Florida game. I don't think the program has gotten over the Florida game. Because if you remember, we lost it in the most heartbreaking way possible, which is we had the lead. It looked like we were going to win. Do you think that is really what sticks with them?
I think it is. I think that would have been the step that you take, and people went, oh, yeah. Now here we go.
So if you beat Florida, but say lose to Missouri, you're okay.
Yeah, well, especially the way Missouri sort of finished.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, where do you go from here? I mean, what I worry is they're going to play in this bowl game. They might end up playing Purdue, coached by a former Louisville quarterback who will probably one day be the Louisville coach.
Yeah.
If they were to lose that game, what happens to the fan base?
I don't know. Listen, I know that the record is still good for historic Kentucky, but it's just there's a bit of unease right now. And
I agree.
You got to get something turned around. Next year, you got to get a signature win somewhere.
How do you do it, though? If you're Mark Stoops and you're trying to figure out now, what do I do to get the fans back on board? Here's what's tough. I don't know what he can do. I really don't. I mean, he's going to get another good recruiting class, but is that going to matter to anybody?
Not in football, not that early.
I think he almost has to win the bowl game, and I'm always of the belief bowl games are kind of irrelevant. Yeah. But don't you think this year it matters?
In order to have something excited about spring football in the fall? Yeah.
You have an overall issue right now about ticket sales and people not going to games. I really worry, Lee, they're going to go into this offseason and see a huge drop potentially in ticket sales next year.
But the good news is you got the best running back in the SEC coming to you. A possible Heisman Trophy candidate.
But you lose the quarterback that gave you back-to-back. So I don't know. It is a very tough year, unfortunately. But we still finished 7-5.